world is facing some big challenges. The time for talking is over. It's time to do something. That's why in 2022 we opened our own ghee factory in Europe to build things with our own hands and support local communities to develop a sustainable way of making fightwear and protect Mother Earth. And to produce the best jiu-jitsu gear in the world, 100% made in the EU. Our new Blue Label Jiu-Jitsu collection is now available for pre-orders. Support us in our mission and go to groundforcegear.com. Ground Force Blue Label. Deeds, not words.
So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the best event ever created, ever managed, ever produced, ever presented.
Toch wel weer dik dat we er onderdeel uit zijn. Hey, lul, je bent eruit.
Alright guys, we're going to start in 4 minutes now. 4 minutes, the first fight is going to start.
Blauw is diegene die niet rood is, toch? Ja, ja.
Jongens, doe even open! Achterdeur. We moeten via de achterdeur. Oh! Hey, Bing!
It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along. It may seem crazy what I'm about to say, because I'm clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm clap along.
This one is for everything. If you weren't ready now, you're ready now. Now you're ready. I'm counting this down. I'm going to count this down. It's happening. We worked a lot. We separated our days to be here. We have trained. We did the free work. We sold our things. We did it. And now we're here. I'm excited. Everybody excited? Hey! You excited, bitches? Guys, here we go. We're going to be live in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the opening of the Grand Prix. Our first fighter coming down right now. Let's go. We have to stop. And in the red corner, the last time brother, Phil
scherp, kop, hup. Als je gaat 300, hè, hup. Draai Tim, draai. Heeft iemand tape?
Tape. Vingertape.
Simon, tape? Tape.
Simon, heb jij tape?
Gewoon een beetje haast. Wat heb je, wat heb je? Vind je bij elkaar. Kom je. Jullie je vingers gebruiken. Was goed. Minder die vingers gebruiken. Let's go. Laat hem ook stappen weer, Tim. Rij weg ervan. Tim. Goed zo, Tim. Tim, niks gebeuren, niks gebeuren. Goed lokken, lokken, lokken. Goed lokken. Pak van links eerst je underhoek, Tim. Tim, linkerhand eerst de underhoek. Opnieuw lokken, kom. Trek hem naar je toe. Trek hem naar je toe met je benen gebruiken. Hup. Onder zijn keel, onder zijn keel, onder zijn keel. Trek je knie op. Hou je hand onder zijn keel, twee handen goed. Lokken, lokken. Hou je leglok, hou je lok. Ja, komt hij aan, Tim, komt hij aan. Let's go, kom aan. Hou je lok goed, hou je lok goed. Kom Tim. Hou er iets tussen. Ja, kom maar, lokken, lokken. draaien, Tim. Meer op je zij draaien. Trek je knie op, Tim. Hoger optrekken. Let op je onderhoek. Linkerhand onderhoek. Ja, goed. Lokken nou. Lokken. Hup. Meer spanning op die lok, Tim. Twee handen naar rechts, Tim. Twee handen naar rechts. Goed, Tim. Omhoog, omhoog. Let op, Tim. Spinnen. Ja, door. Naar been. Ja, goed, Tim. Rollen, rollen. Rollen. Bijna, nee, Tim. Let op je moment, hè. Daar ga je voor. Kom op. Goeie catch, hoor, Tim. Philip. Coach, what's it to do? The slip is here.
Okay. Mag ik even de tas pakken? Ja.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the second fight of this afternoon, 17 Monkowski versus Jan Keurel. 17 Monkowski versus Jan Keurel.
Tim. Nee, kom, kom. Inside bleiben.
Löst den Griff oder benutzt ihn, Jan. Griffe lösen oder benutzen.
Sehr Sehr schön, komm hoch, komm hoch. Bleib eng. Ist egal. Inside pummeln, Rücken nicht hergeben. Guard wieder, sehr schön. Pass auf Konter auf. Kannst auch hoch in Leg Drags kommen. Eine Minute um. Pass ein bisschen auf, dass er deinen Fuß nicht reinzieht. Sehr schön. Bleib oben. Sehr gut. Du kannst ihn lang machen. Sehr gut. 4,30 noch, 4,30, du hast viel Zeit. Bring ihn sonst Belly Down. Wenn er Belly Down gehen will, dann bestraf ihn dafür. 4 Minuten noch. 4 Minuten noch. Choke threaten die ganze Zeit, die Choke-Hand reinbringen. Body Triangle schön eng machen. $3,30 noch. Zwing ihn Belly Down sonst.
Prawą nogę jak złapiesz, stara się przyciągnąć do siebie biodrami przez wypadek. Jak będziesz bezpieczny, bez duszenia.
3 Minuten noch, Jan. 3 Minuten noch.
Nie, i teraz drugą musisz. Podejdź sobie, teraz lewo, dokładnie. Teraz drugą musisz. Przy tej zmianie staraj się wypać biodrami. Prawą nogą sobie podawaj do mego stopę.
Arm Traps, lauf ihn sonst runter. 2,30 noch.
2,5 minuty zostało, musisz rozbić do Sewery. Prawą nogą podawasz sobie tą stopę i wtedy skręcaj biodro. Jak dasz radę złapać dłoni, to przyciągnij i wtedy biodrami wypadasz. On chce tam siedzieć, dawaj. Tak. Teraz przyciągaj, no. Wypadasz biodrami teraz.
Komm sonst in Mount.
Wypadasz biodrami, tak, dokładnie, wypadaj.
2 Minuten noch, Jan, komm in Mount, komm hoch, pass auf deinen Fuß auf. Inside Guard spielen, Druck reinmachen, komm hoch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into our next fight, our third fight. Now, the minus 80. Have I seen that right? No, that's plus 80. Plus 80 bracket, we have Adam Jacobi versus Rafael Pavlov. Adam Jacobi versus Rafael Pavlov. Jacob coming out of the Institute of Grappling and Half coming from Grecia Auschwitz. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, coming out now, Adam Jacob, in the blue corner. Coming out now, in the red corner, hello, red corner, hello. Referee for this match. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our second submission of the day. We're going to get ready for our fourth fight of this plus 80 bracket. In the blue corner, we have Eleventh, in the blue corner.
Patrzą na to, co ty robisz. Patrzą tylko na nowy. Jeszcze dla ludzi.
And from the red corner, coming from NK5 Paris, Adam Nabawi. plus 80 kilos. The fifth fight of the Grand Prix plus 80 kilos in the blue corner. Linus von Schreck. Linus. And coming out in the red corner, Pavel Jaworski. And ladies and gentlemen, the referee of this fight, you'll know that. Because if you don't know, let's go.
Schön die Hände kontrollieren, wenn er runtergeht. Okay, beginnt von links nach rechts zu gehen. Kontrollier schön die. Ja. Die äußere Hand ist die gefährliche. Sehr gut, spiel mit den Ohren auf die linke und auf die rechte Seite. Die äußere Hand, Linus, das ist die gefährliche. Gut, kontrolliere die andere Hand, während du den Ellenbogen hochziehst. Bereite dich für den Front Step vor. Kontrolliere die Hand schön. Genau, sobald du raus bist, eine äußere Hand, die wollen wir halten. Genau, schön raus und halten. Gut. Nochmal raus und halten. Und los, links nach rechts. Gut. Sehr gut, Linus. Ja. Brich die Hände. Du kannst auch schön steppen dabei. Beide. Ja, sehr gut. Wieder von links nach rechts. Umso öfter er dich anhebt, umso müder wird er. Gut. Schön links nach rechts. Seine äußere Hand. Drück richtig mit den Knien ihn rein. Ja, sehr gut. Drück weiter rein. Wir haben noch 4 Minuten und 5 Sekunden, Linus. Äußere Hand. Genau wieder in ihn rein, von den Beinen auf die Hände dann. Sehr gut. Nochmal hoch. Scoop rein. Ja, sehr gut. Er will über dich reapen. Kontrollier die Hand, ja. Sehr gut, kämpf um die Hand, du kannst sie auch hochziehen ein bisschen.
Yes, you can take this one. It's all yours.
Genau, dreh dich raus, sehr gut, öffne die Beine und wenn du rausgehst, sofort von links nach rechts.
Okay, hello,
Und
hello.
los.
Yeah, it's good. Cool.
Do you need more?
I'm good. Yeah, I can hear it. I'm good. Yeah.
Umso öfter
All right,
er das
guys, we're
macht,
still in
umso
this
müder wird der Linus.
Grand Prix.
Kontrollier
This
die
is probably my
äußere
favorite
Hand.
match of the whole Grand Prix. It's really sad to see them both in the first round. You've got Linus with a fantastic base, but Pavel has just been on the offense the whole time.
Scoop,
you know, it's always frustrating when you have these beautiful leg lock entries.
Sehr gut. Und dann raussteppen.
And the top
hat
player
jetzt
is
ein
just
bisschen
so
mehr
good at
Respekt
defending them,
davor.
so you have all these close entries that just keep getting stuffed.
Sehr gut und los.
And of
Links
course,
nach
you're
rechts.
looking at a submission-only match, so these sub attempts really are going to be the defining factor. But at any moment, I
Noch
think
2
that Linus
Minuten
could
15,
pass guard
Linus.
and make a really good play for the win.
Äußere Hand.
What's interesting here is you're seeing so many of the same entries. You know, Pavel really does a good job of making these work. He's using his K guard, using his X guard, linking them back together,
respektiert den
and he's
Heel-Hook
getting
jetzt.
really good on these entries. He's
dafür
staying
kannst du
close to the hip,
wegsteppen
which I love to see,
oder
hip
Gewicht
connected
auf
to
ihn
hip.
machen. Ja.
But every time Linus is able to get his foot flat to the
hoch,
mat,
front step down.
and we keep seeing this Aoki lock entry here from Pavel. But every single time, Linus is keeping his heel attached to the rib,
Sobald du rausgehst,
keeping his
über
heel
deine
near the
linke
mat,
Seite, okay?
and
Er
really
will
doing a
unbedingt auf
fantastic
seine
job of
linke.
stuffing it every
Das heißt,
single
wir
time.
gehen zu unserer Linken.
You know, we've seen Pavel hit these so many
Genau, schön
times, and he's
Gewicht
so
drauf.
strong in this position.
Sobald du rausgehst, auf die Linke. Eine Minute 25, Linus. Scoop rein. Sehr gut. Und rüber. High Body Lock. Ja, schön rein.
It seems like
Und rein.
every single time he gets in on a deep pass attempt or gets a good connection, he really can't get that separation he needs to get the bottom part of the body off the top part of the body. So it makes it very frustrating. And here we see probably the best entry of the day, able to pin the hips down, but you see the leg strength is just so perfect in his defense. Obviously, he's been through this, and here we go. This is the first attempt on the heel. He got it. Beautiful match. Really, really hate to see either of these guys lose in the first round. But phenomenal jiu-jitsu. There we go. 100% my pick to win for this whole bracket. So really good match. I was hoping to see them in the finals, but this is not how it always plays out. So fantastic first round matchup.
The referee for this fight, Ivan.
All right, here we go. Another very exciting match. If you Beautiful shot right off the jump. I love seeing guys being aggressive from the feet, not being afraid to take that shot from the outside. And it's really paying off for him. It's right into a clean guard pass. Very good connection here. We'll have a reset to the middle. Doing a great job of controlling that posture from the bottom side. Heavy shoulder pressure, good attack on the turtle. I love how aggressive he is right away from the back. Really slick entry here. Gotta get the hand fight. We need more than just hand fighting from this top, right? I think sometimes when you get too dedicated to the hand fight, it's a losing battle. So you got to be able to hand fight, but also progress your way to escape this leg lock entry. So, and instead he's doing almost the opposite by exposing his heel. So let's see if he can keep this heel on the mat. But great job using your head there. I think, you know, it comes from a wrestling background, it looks like, and getting your head involved is going to be wrestling 101. So.
Left to you. It's good, it's good.
Beautiful escape, right to the feet. We're probably going to see great wrestling here again right away. Goes for the foot sweep and the blow by. Doesn't quite get it, but still accomplishes the takedown.
Sticky.
So great chest connection here. You got to break this block down first before you can advance. But he voluntarily gives the lockdown up, goes for that big hip escape. Beautiful ride to the mount. Oh, I like this.
Stay low with the hip, stay low with the hip. Nice.
Fantastic top control. We're seeing, I think there's a clear discrepancy in the strength here. You know, strength isn't everything, but it definitely pays off when you're able to use it the right way. So great technique, beautiful strength, doing everything right now.
3 minutes. Don't let him pummel in.
Yeah, if he can get this leg pummeled inside, he's going to have a great attack on that right leg. He's going to look to get his right leg all the way through, laced out, and then exactly like that, coming in. Beautiful attack on the heel, but the knee is clear right away. So really good escape. He knows what he's doing here. I love when guys are aggressively escaping positions. Oftentimes when you're sitting around, they just tend to get worse. So you're better off just getting the heck out of there. Still want to see more offense here. He's doing a great job positionally, but the offense is a little bit lacking. I'm seeing great counters here, but let's see if he can attack this Kimura with anything. Oh, the arm is loose, and the arm is straight. There we go, beautiful. Just what I asked for, he came through and gave me some offense. I love this. What a great match.
And in the right corner, we have Mark Hero.
So here we go. We're still in the same bracket. You know, two really experienced grapplers here. We saw Simon on Kaizen2. He trains nearby to me at Cage MMA in Cologne. Really strong grappler. You're going to see dynamic guard game, some interesting entries, I think. So to me, it looks like it's going to be, you know, kind of a really interesting guard game versus a very strong, heavy top pressure grappler. So we'll see if I'm right.
Head position sauber bleiben, Simon. Ja.
So we'll see how long Simon keeps this standing. I think he's going to try to get in. You know, I think everyone's trying to showcase their wrestling right now and show they still got it on the feet, but I'm hoping he kind of pulls the guard and gets to a good position early on.
Schöne passes, sehr schön, Simon.
Both of them really heavy on the collar ties. I love seeing that. You know, so much of our wrestling happens when we get reaction and action. So, you know, if we're heavy on the head, we're not looking really to get the snap down to work. We're looking for a reaction from our opponent. So if we can get that head pressure going down just like that, then the next goal is going to be just to capitalize on that movement. So if we can't capitalize, then we wasted our movement. So I'd like to see both of them go for a non-linear attack here, really heavy on the head, and then when they react to it, we got to attack that front leg. And both of them coming in for that mercy grip, but you know, not really using it too effectively. They're getting a good pull out of it, but again, I want to see them reacting more and then taking advantage of those big reactions. We're always looking for overreacting. Good step in. You know, and one thing we see all the time from grapplers is their hesitation on their shots. So when we see these guys tie up, you know, in wrestling we have no threat of a submission, and so the shots come more freely. In grappling, we really got to be careful there because so many of our guys are used to pulling guard, and we just don't see that in wrestling. There we go. That's what I wanted to see from Simon. I think this is where he shines. If he can get a good attachment here, it looks like he's going to have a hard time, but eventually on the engagement, Simon is going to go inside towards his left, towards his right side, sorry. Calling him in. There we go, perfect, and it worked. We have reverse De La Hiva here with a knee shield.
Stück für Stück wieder Pressure draufbauen. Auf Anlauf und Armbreak aufpassen, genau.
Beautiful hero slide.
Nearside Armbreak ist gleich da, genau. Das Ganze ruhig paaren, gern mit den Ashi-Entries unten. Nearside Armbreak, Ashi-Entries, ansonsten sicheres Seat Guard hochfahren. Genau, schön Inversion runter.
There we go.
Nice.
Yep, exactly. Oh, the counter knee bar. He's in deep on this. Can he get to the heel hook? Nice job, Simon, clearing the knee line. And we're right back to where we started. Very, very good. That really surprised me. You know, one of the difficulties of playing guard is having soft engagements with the top player. And I thought we were going to see more of that, but really, really good job.
Off-Balance ist weiterhin spielen, Simon. 2 Minuten 22 noch.
And this is kind of what I was talking about with the soft engagement from Mark. You know, he's just engaged enough to keep the action moving, but he's keeping a distance that really has a difficulty for Simon to get in any kind of a productive attachment. Either he's looking for an arm attachment for a near outside drag, or exactly like that, he wants to get inside on that leg. But again, great base by Mark. He did a good job of getting out and getting back in, and he makes a super clean attack here on this. Yeah, I like that. You know, it was wasn't the most perfect setup, but I'm happy he went for it. Just shows that he really wants to win this match.
weiter. Bitte schön ein bisschen off-balance.
It really feels like the perfect game plan for Mark too. He's he's doing a good job of being aggressive, but not getting in too deep where he's going to get caught. He's being offensive when he should be offensive. He's got the sub attempts. I think he had the better job on the feet. Just seems like he's overall dominating the match. It's a good match, but I'd like to see more out of Simon. I just imagine it's got to be difficult to get a hold of this guy.
Ja, sehr schön, Simon.
Got a false reap entry here from Simon.
Off-balance nach vorne hoch. Holen und holen. Sehr schön, Simon. Dranbleiben, auf Niwa aufpassen, Knieline wieder clearen. Wieder clearen und hochkommen. Hochkommen, komm. Sehr schön selber reinkommen.
This is going to be Simon's biggest chance. He needs to really got to engage on that back show.
Und wieder. 40 Sekunden noch, Simon. Weiter dranbleiben, komm. Da kommt ein schlechter Step-In. Aufs obere Bein achten, genau. Weiter Handfighten, wieder Off-Balance gerne spielen. Komm.
Love to see one last final push from Simon and get inside, even if it's not super high percentage. I want to see him go because right now it just looks like all the offense is coming from Mark.
Den Backstep aufpassen. 8 Sekunden noch.
With the Texas Clover. These are really painful sometimes, but it's really tough to get a guy to submit from here. So, really good match. Back and forth. I would love to have seen a little bit more aggressive guard, but I understand it's difficult to get these guys, to get them wrapped up. So, very, very good match from both guys. I'm over here using this. There's nowhere to put it.
Just a little announcement. Hafal Fabian Zeski. I'm not saying that right at all. Fabian, is there any Polish? Who's Polish?
Yeah, Julio, I
You found it?
did.
Let's get ready for our next fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kato Florian in the blue corner versus Cherry van Groppen in the red corner. You guys know him? All the claps for Canada. In the red corner, coming out right now, Cherry van Groppen. The club lords. I want the same enthusiasm. We all stop. We all stop. Referee for this fight. Now, all yours.
All right, we've got our last match of the plus 80 bracket. We're going to see how these semifinals pan out. way to take advantage of that guard pass. You know, we saw kind of a looser guard pull, which left open that right underhook and came right through with the slide by. Very slick. Right into the, let's see if we can make this work, right? Good attachments to the legs. This is one of the ones where it's kind of counterintuitive. There we go, beautiful. In and out. That's amazing. What a great match. Very aggressive. Using that Rotolo style passing right into the darts. Love it. We're getting into our minus 80 bracket, getting some guys closer to my size. I love watching the smaller guys. 80's not small, but yeah, they're smaller, so I'll take it. Really great bracket here, including our first matchup. Botswan is always super fun to watch. He had a match he won on the first Kaizen, and I've seen him compete a lot. Very, very fun guy to watch, so this is going to be a good one.
You know, one thing I noticed that the DJ is getting the vibe. So, the music is starting to get that bounce. Good job. Thank you very much, DJ. You're doing fantastic work. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next fight. That was a good one. That was the fastest one we had till now. 30 seconds on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next fight, we're going to go into the minus 80 category. The minus 80 category is coming up right now. And we have our first fighter, a recurrent fighter. He already been here. He already put down an amazing show, and he's right now here to do the minus 80 Grand Prix. Bakuhan in the blue corner. And he is. Coming out in the red corner. Not gonna get the name right. Academy Gorilla. Hafa. Referee for this fight. Bart.
All right, here we go. Look for Botswan to pull right away and get in on these leg locks. He's vicious with them, so I expect action immediately. There we go. Great pull. Hafa doing a good job, though. We've also seen just fantastic leg lock defense from Botswan. So I don't think he's worried about these positions. I think he's looking to counter if he gets in there, but both of them off to a great start. This is how I wanted to see that minus 80 bracket pan out. So off to a good start. Let's get all entertaining matches here. I like the head down passing from Hafa. I think it's a great way to deal with leg locks. He kind of goes forward. When he gets in danger, he pops his way back out. He's doing a good job of fighting and defending the leg pummel from Botswan. You're going to see super flexible hips from Botswan. He's able to get those legs in nice and tight. Really, really strong guard game. One of my favorite things to watch is when guys make this upper body to lower body connection. So we see Botswan attacking the arm lock, I think what he really wants to do is get a reaction from Hoffa, who will have the posture to defend that arm lock, and then he sits back on the legs. So it's a great way to gain entry to the legs, especially with a guy who's head down passing. So really, really good play, really good read here from Botswan. We're seeing a great attack here on the back from Botswan, but until he clears that right leg, he's going to have a hard time. So this is kind of our age-old battle of that leg lock versus back exposure battle. The toe hold's going to be hard to finish from there. You got to get more of a bend in the leg. And Botswan knows that. He feels pretty comfortable here. He's going to shake his head and laugh a little bit. That's kind of what he does. He's a character out there. So look for him to kind of pick things up as the match gets longer. Super fun to watch.
Połowa poszła, 3 minutki.
3 minuten, but
Rabciu, przeżyć to, lewa noga prosto, lewa, tak jest.
You know, all of these, head shakes and nods and kind of waving off these submission attempts is great and all. And I don't believe he's in that much danger, but it doesn't look good for the referees, right? The referees are seeing Hoffa be more offensive. He's getting legitimate submission attempts. Botswan's having some great entries, but he's had no good bites on a sub yet. So I've got him down so far. I think it's a close match, but these close matches are kind of won and lost by sub attempts a lot. And I think Hoffa's getting the better of him. I think when you get that overhook and you're attacking that overhook arm, you got to be ready for that recovery, right? When he pulls up and clears the arm, which he will, you got to be ready for that counter attack. And I talked about this a little bit with the wrestling.
2 minuten.
And again, we're seeing, maybe not a legitimate threat to Botswan on the ankle lock, but it's still scoring points for Hoffa. So it's looking good. Great match.
Zaznaczaj jakimiś nogami. Zaznaczaj, Boski, zaznaczaj. 1,5 minuty, piłuj go.
And a really good pass attempt here. Botswan's guard is strong, but it's still looking good, right? We're still seeing what I'm looking at is a more offensive Hoffa. He's got more submission attempts, and he's making a real play on the back here. He's keeping his legs nice and safe. Botswan has no good, solid counter from here. I don't think he's going to convert this to a back take. But he comes up in a nice leg drag position.
1 minuut, but 1
And he's
minuut.
going to make this pummel over. The beautiful underhook, heavy shoulder pressure. Can he clear his left leg and finish his pass? Because if not, Botswana can look to, there we go, beautiful recovery. Makes a play on the legs, but Hoffa's base is just really good.
Hey, 40 seconden, but
40 sekund, Rabciu. Inicjuj ataki. Ataki na nogę. Ataki cały czas, atakuj.
This really surprises me. I've seen Botswan compete quite a lot, and usually he's the aggressor with lots of great entries. So clearly Hoffa had his game plan down, and he's doing everything right for this one. Great style matchup, though. Straight leg is really hard to toe hold. He's doing great defense. It'll get tight, but it's really hard to break the foot from there.
ja.
Good heel exposure here.
5 sekund, Rabciu.
That was deep. That was a great entry.
He's gone, but
The leg was not the best. Really good match. Solid back and forth, but I think Hoffa did more work.
You're live. Listen. You're watching. I know you're watching. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner right now, Fabian Urba. Let's go, Black Circus DJJ. Fabian Urba. And coming out for the red corner, Leslie, GFG Brazil. Leslie. Referee for this one, stop.
Dann vielleicht auch Headlock, ne?
All right, here we go. We got match number 2 of this -80 bracket. We have 8 guys in this bracket, so we're going to jump right into the semifinals coming up. So, beautiful entry on this. Man, I love seeing good shots. You know, I'm from Ohio in the U.S. I wrestled for a long time, so when I see good wrestling and jiu-jitsu, not from me, but from other guys, I love to see it. So, and we're seeing more and more of it. I think it's starting to pay off, and it absolutely looks good for the judges. So. You know, it's funny, in this under 80 bracket, we're seeing a very, very similar style. Maybe not with the offense, like on the submission attempts, but we're seeing a similar guard play, which really kind of lends into the same type of passing, where we're seeing a lot of headquarters passing or starting this knee cut from a shin shield, reverse de la Hiva. So, interesting to see how the styles work out. Back on the
Wenn
feet.
die Arme rausgehen, wird es ein Flying Kram.
Heavy on the collar tie. Much better pull that time, right? I think when you have a good connection and you pull, even though in Kaizen you can pull with no connection, it's always a good habit to have a strong connection, getting into a pull right into your offense, instead of pulling kind of into a dead zone. And again, we're seeing a lot of this where it's really difficult as a guard player to get a strong connection on a top guy who's able to come in and out so quickly. And so we're seeing Leslie be super aware of what's happening. He's entering just enough to keep busy. I think he's obviously looking to pass. He'll take a good pass attempt, but when the attempt, exactly like that, the attempt does not look so good, he's able to kind of regress a little bit and then really frustrate without getting countered. Exactly like that, right? And that really is the goal. I have to be aggressive, but not in a way that opens me up to a counterattack. And as a guard player, that's what I'm looking for. I have a much better passing position here. You know, if I can keep my knee-elbow connection, it makes it really difficult for the bottom guy to get any kind of offense going. And we're seeing it again every time some offense is started. Leslie's able to extract himself and get right back to a safer passing position. And really good timing on the guard pass, right? He took his time, he had good entries, he came back out, and now you're really seeing it pay off because now we're past the guard, and we're really watching his game evolve. He's getting into a good back peg position here. Oftentimes we have this in and out battle where the guard pass is so difficult and so risky to get past the guard. But the match starts off with a couple minutes of kind of back and forth where you're doing soft entries and then extracting yourself But then once the top player actually does pass, he really starts to dominate. And we saw this earlier in our plus 80 brackets. Strong defense from Fabian on the back. He's just he's keeping his chin tucked. He's doing a great job hand fighting. But the important thing is he's able to hand fight and leg fight at the same time. So we're seeing him get near escapes. Leslie's just doing a much better job of retaining the back and keeping him so the adjustments are really strong. The problem is when you're adjusting and constantly trying to retain the back, it's really hard to be offensive. So we're seeing this battle of escape, recovery, but we're not seeing really strong sub attempts from here.
1 minute, 40 seconds. You can lock up the triangle if you want, Les. Stay tight. Stay tight. Go back to the back.
Komm, hol das eine Bein rein.
Grab the race.
And this really is one of the most challenging things, when you're able to escape the back, but it leads to mount. It ends up being a mount back take battle over and over again. So really I'd like to see Fabian be able to escape the back and then recover some kind of a guard, even a small guard in that process. But escaping just to mount tends to lead right back to another back take.
Beine scheren, Fabi. Komm, Beine scheren.
But he's staying busy. He's not conceding this position. We're getting shorter on time, but he's still making the fight here. With Leslie getting to the body triangle and then now taking it out. The body triangle really takes away the leg pummeling from Fabian. So there we go. Beautiful match, great control. You saw a really tough time passing the guard, but once the guard was passed, it was domination the whole time. So fantastic jiu-jitsu. Shout out to Julio. He's always hamming it up. Our master of ceremonies down there, bringing the hype.
It's so hard. You have somebody's back there working there, and if the guy knows how to defend really good, he can stay there for a while. It's hard. Good job. Another submission, another round done. Here we go to the next one. You ready? What are you doing? Fantastic. Your brother is going to be refereeing the next fight, and the next fight is Adrian Titkoff versus Shai Jerena in the blue corner. Shai Jerena, both of these are veterans of Kaizen, and we are really happy to see them back. This is a hell of a match. We love it. Shai in the blue corner. This is ready as always. And coming out in the red corner, Adrian Titkoff. Adrian is over there, of course. Happy to see you back here. Happy to see you. Well, this is going to be a good match. It's yours.
Yes, guys. My name is Fourteenth, and I will be joining Michael in the commentary team, and actually just going to ask a lot of questions.
That's what I'm here for. I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
So this one's got me sweating. I'm so excited. This is a great matchup. Shai is an amazing competitor. He puts on a good show, very technical, but Adrian came out, competed in the Kaizen Open. He won the open class. I think he weighed in about 66 kilos, was out there stomping some monsters.
Wow, that's
so,
crazy.
Yeah, really, really cool to see.
But that's the cool thing about grappling, right? You see that it's not always power that gets the job done. It's technique.
Yeah. Which is nice, you know. I'm also what, 65 kilos. I'm a smaller guy, you know. So it's nice to know that I can still have some success. And these guys are both going on these feet. You know, they're not a clean, super tight angle on them, but they're going to be rough. Oh, and they are not being gentle.
Only look at it, it hurts me.
Oh, man. You know, these are the ones where you might not tap in the moment, but you'll wake up tomorrow morning and realize you were in a fight, you know? So, yeah. But both are happy to keep their feet in there. You know, they have opportunities to extract themselves, but they're staying in the fight. A lot of times these leg lock battles, you're looking to get safe but not out.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I want to get myself still in the action, but be careful.
Of course, yeah. You don't want to have like a limb hanging out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. There it is. You know, honestly, I think that these guys are great. I think the size played a big difference here. You know, when you have a guy who's even a little bit bigger than you, you know, Adrian is not going to be at the top of that 80 kilo bracket. But when he gets a hold of a limb, that's where the power really comes
Yeah,
in.
of course. Especially with those leg locks, man. You can't tap early enough. At least me.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's tricky. Like I said, you want to be in the match. You want to leave your feet kind of in danger, so you can have the counter attack happen. But it happens so quickly.
Yeah, it's true. Oftentimes you see guys, you know, give a little just to take a lot, but just that little could be enough.
Well, that's it,
get
you
to
know.
danger.
And I think that a lot of my game is like that, where I have to give you an entry. You know, I'm a smaller guy, but that comes at a huge risk.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God, did you guys hear it? Did you hear the talk? I hope Adrian is okay. That's from this match. I love it and I hate it at the same time. It's crazy. Guys, let's go to the next match.
Bracket as well.
Coming up right now in the blue corner, Jack Dolan. Another one of our veterans already been here. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Jack Dolan. All the way from Ireland. Coming out of the red corner, Jonah Oldenburg. And the referee for this match, Eva, match is all yours.
Another really great matchup here. You know, I've seen Jack Dolan compete quite a lot. He always brings, he's got great defense. He's not afraid of anything. He jumps right into action, and I love to see guys taking risks.
Yeah, of course. But as you said before, every risk comes with a price. Could come with a price. Could come with a price.
And it really does, you know. We watched Jack fight Jed Hugh, phenomenal grappler, and really put himself in some scary spots. Was able to, you know, come out. He didn't get submitted. He lost the match by decision, but it just shows that he's willing to go out there with anybody and really bring it. So, love watching him.
Yeah, it's like taking big risks. Is that like a style thing, or is it more overall jiu-jitsu thing?
You know, I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think that when you see, I've always told my students, we got to separate professional jiu-jitsu and kind of the art, all right? So if you go to like an IBJJF tournament, you know, and you're really kind of playing a traditional rule set, it's better to be more conservative. You know, you want to take less risks. You want to get that win. A lot of those matches are won or lost by a decision or by an advantage, right? So it's a very, very close match for the whole 5 minutes. When you get into professional grappling with super fights, you got to have the risk, right? You got to be entertaining. Yeah. And so these guys are going to be always fun to watch because they take the risks, you know.
Speaking of entertaining.
Exactly, right? Yeah. doesn't matter how big of a mat space we give them, they're going to go out of bounds. So it's just part of the territory. So especially on the leg locks, you know, the appropriate defense is often that gator roll, and roll.
It can go infinitely, right?
You just got to keep going. Yeah. But you can see in this exchange, you know, Jack had a great entry on the leg, right? But he had to let it go and get away because the counterattack was strong.
Yeah.
And so sometimes the counterattack is not meant to get a finish. It's just meant to be a more appropriate escape, right?
Yeah.
I can risk, I can hurt your leg, or you can get the heck out of there, right? So the guys tend to evade right away. And you saw Jack smile afterwards. He knew what happened.
Yeah. Like the threat of a submission is always a good way to, you know, change position or do something to turn it over to in your advantage.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think every recovery should be, you know, a little bit offensive too. We got a false reap entry here. It's going to be, but Jack did a good job of changing the angle on it. Really good leg pummeling from both guys here. They know exactly what's going on. You know, Jack's doing a little better job of keeping the knee line, meaning the knee is above his thighs. And that's kind of where the ankle and the knee is in danger. If you can slip that knee to the back side of the legs, you're generally pretty safe. We have a Texas clover leaf here into a toe hold. But again, we talked about it earlier. When the leg is straight, it's really tough to make that toe hold work. There we go, and you get it. That one's tough, right? I mean, we call it a Texas cloverleaf. It puts a lot of pressure. It tends to be more of a pain submission than an actual injury one, but there is injury there for sure. So, you know, intelligent tap, sometimes you're just caught.
Yeah, it looked really difficult to get out of. I could not think about any option for him to get out of it. Could be my skill, could be my knowledge, but you know.
No, I mean it's intentional, right? We're always looking for, we call that double trouble,
Yeah.
right? So we have an inside position, we have the outside leg trap, and it really makes it difficult to escape. So very, very good control from Jack.
That's fantastic. We have a couple here that referees together in most of the fights here on Europe. I love to see it. Beautiful stuff. Guys, that was great. And to think Jonah is still underage officially, so big shout out to Jonah that he fought today. Guys, it's not beautiful. Guys, you know, let's sign up. And man, love the courage, I love the heart. That's what we want to see. Guys, ready for the next fight. Coming up from the blue corner, 7 Mankowski, Academia Gorilla. Coming up from the left corner, Philip. Oh yeah. Both coming out to the win. And the referee for this fight, the beautiful, majestic Alex.
we're kicking off the quarterfinals in the plus 80.
And you do see the size difference, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, when you say plus 80, that can be a pretty big range. Yeah.
And how difficult is it for like a smaller guy to not get completely smashed by somebody that's quite bigger than you?
Yeah, I think it really depends on what your style is. You know, I think we saw Severin here do a good job of getting on the leg. You know, he played a smaller guy's game. Sometimes those bigger guys have never dealt with a smaller competitor, right? And so they come in there and they're used to fighting the big guys in their gym and they smash them. So when you give a guy who, you know, 80 kilos is still a decent sized person, right? I mean, and they're doing a smaller guy game, they may not have seen it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably if you have like a slick submission guy, yeah, of course.
I think one of the most dangerous guys we have in the match are the guys who are in that 80-85 range who play a small guy jiu-jitsu, you know, where they're able to get underneath you and do some things where a lot of times the bigger guys have never felt that before. And after having watched Philip in his first round match, he had a great match, but it was very, I would call it traditional jiu-jitsu. You know, he had a good, strong base, but I think, you know, if I was coming in here in this match, my game plan would have been leg locks, and I think it's the way to go. And Severin's doing a great job of keeping Philip's weight off of him. So every time Philip comes to the top position, Severin kind of just rolls his hips a little bit, and he just moves that pressure a little bit off where it's not super effective, and he's keeping Philip tippy, which is fantastic jiu-jitsu.
It always amazed me how people can keep calm in situations, you know, when they have grapple exchanges.
It's one of those things we watch. You know, we watch guys who, you know, their first 6 months are tapping to everything because
That's me.
Everything's so scary, right?
Yeah.
You don't know, and then, you know, even if you are you know, if you're grabbing your friend and you put your hands around their neck, they kind of panic a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're 6-7 years into grappling and nothing bothers you. You're like, it is what it is. Like, this is how I die. But it really changes how you view things, you know, and what's scary and what's not. And even times when I'm broken and people are, you know, I've competed quite a lot. And you just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of creepy that it gets that comfortable. You know?
Yeah. If you get into uncomfortable situations a lot, you'll get comfortable eventually.
Yeah, yeah. And we're seeing some frustration here. It's difficult, right? I mean, I think that, you know, Philip wants to get into his game, but every time he engages, Severin's able to get underneath him, and that's a really frustrating thing to deal with, especially when the person is smaller than you. For Severin to keep himself balled up is so much easier, right? And then now Philip has to separate his knees from his elbows to get a guard pass. And every time he's able to roll under just like that and make serious threats on the legs, which is scary. We're seeing reverse close guard here. And this has been really, really kind of the new meta. Guys are loving this position here. It's a very frustrating guard to pass, and your legs are very easy to attack from here. So.
I'm still trying to figure this out, Michael. I'm still trying to figure out who's in a better position than the other one. But so interesting.
So really, you know, in 90% of the time, the person who is controlling the midsection is in control. Okay, so now we're seeing Philip in the all black on their feet now, but he's trying to enter that space between the knees and the elbows. If I can invade that space and own that space, that's where I'm doing a good job, right? We're trying to isolate the body, kind of break things down into smaller parts. And so right now, Philip's only goal on top is to get past those legs, right? So then he can occupy that middle space. But it's tricky when the guy is shorter than you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Minuta Severin, minuta Dostawa.
Minuta, nie daj mu tej minuty. 50 sekund.
So we're getting near the end of the match here. You know, we've seen a great base from Philip, but no offense really. You know, every time he's tried to get in and make an entry, Severin was able to counter it and get it on a leg attack. So
Dokładnie, dokładnie.
If you look at the match till now, who do you see have the advantage here?
I gotta give it to Severin. I think, you know, he's had, I mean, this is a submission-only tournament,
Yeah.
you know, and so you might look at this and say, well, yeah, but, you know, Philip was on top the whole time, but on top doesn't really mean you're winning. It just means you're on top, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that what we're seeing is Severin wants to be on the bottom. You know, I think when you're a smaller guy, it's often an advantage to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
Wybij go jeszcze jak się tak pcha. Dokładnie, dokładnie. I wstań.
and this one's a great entry here. Really fun match, interesting style matchup, and I'm sure it's a very frustrating match for Philip. Nothing like calling that guy a small guy.
No.
He's still a big guy compared to us. You know?
Yeah,
He's-
from here it looks small, but if we stand next to him, it's not that small. Great match.
These plus I 80 guys are huge. Yeah. Philip is 16 meters tall and 600 kilos. Good, perfect fight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head on immediately to the next fight. Let's go get it. Adam Jacobi in the red corner and Adam Nabawi in the blue corner. Blue corner, Adam Nabawi. Coming out now. For NR5 Paris. NR5 Paris. Adam Nabawi. Both of these fighters are coming off of a victory.
Volume's okay? Yeah? Not popping or anything? No? Okay, good.
Right now,
Yeah, thanks.
Adam Jacobi, the Institute of Grappling, all the way from Great Britain. Referee for this fight? Or not? Let's go to all the yours, ref.
Okay, I told you guys going into this that it was going to be a night of first names for me only, and we're finally going to nail this one. It is Adam versus Adam, and as an American, these last names are killing me, so I apologize in advance.
Well, as a Dutch guy, for me it's not exactly simple as well. But Adam, we can manage that.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
pretty
man.
sure Adam's going to win this one.
Yeah, probably.
We had an early eye poke here.
Contrôle ses hanches quand tu arrives. Si tu prends le chest, contrôle ses hanches.
we're seeing so many similar styles here in both of these brackets, you know, where these guys are playing this kind of sideways open guard position from, you know, it's a reverse de la Hiva, but it really is a great guard entry. What happens is it forces that top player, Adam, to get that left arm long, right? And what that does is it gives me plays on kind of 3 of the 4 limbs. So as Adam reaches in like this, we can attack that top side arm. And if Adam's right arm comes across for a collar tie in the bottom, we attack the bottom arm for choi bars and arm bars. But then that lead leg is also in danger. So it really is a very modern style of guard that guys are loving to play.
And is it more of a offensive way to?
Yeah, I think, you know, you know, this is the guard I play almost all the time. And what I always say is, it's a great defensive guard, and I think your guard should be defensive first before anything else, right? But what it does is it allows me to funnel the top player into entries I want to take advantage of. So I'm looking for a couple things, and it looks like, you know, we're seeing Adam really try, I think, to catch that lead leg. We got to toss some last names in here sometimes so I can figure out who's who, but
Yakubi's on the bottom right
Yakubi's
now.
in the bottom, yeah. Yakubi I can do. I can handle that one.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's Adam and Yakubi.
Adam and Yakubi, yeah. And Yakubi has a great entry here. He's in saddle, was able to keep that hip off. If he can get this hip pinned just like that and start separating these legs, then we're going to have a problem. There you go.
That's the tackle.
Yep. And as he grabs those toes, we call it a Mikey lock. It really puts a lot of pressure on the inside of that knee. So fantastic entry. Played his guard perfectly. So very, very good match. So we'll see him in the semifinals versus Severn. Yeah, so that'll be a fun match.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he has on his back a picture? Yeah, it's a picture of his friend. Christian Ubek, that's the one he has on his back. I'm going to make all my students do that. I'm going to make all my students carry my face on their crash guards, like right in front of the back. Let's make it so they have to take it off. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go into the next fight. The next fight. Coming out of Nuremberg, Woody Hours. In the blue corner, Woody Hours. Coming for the red corner. Academia Gorilla Warsaw. Paweł Jaworski. Paweł Jaworski. Ladies and gentlemen, the referee for this fight, Bart. Bart Rodriguez.
My main goal here is to not come across as a complete Pavel fanboy, but I really got him to win the whole bracket, so this should be a fun match.
Nice, nice, good.
And again, we're seeing the sideways open guard. It really is a great guard to play. It forces the passer into some uncomfortable positions, and I love seeing it.
Nice. You can pull again if you want to.
Pavel will stay very patient here. He knows the entry has to come. He's got so many tools from his guard. But Alves is doing everything right. You know, he's, again, we talked about this earlier. He's going inside and outside. He's like, you know, he's making himself look busy. by going legitimate pass attempts, but when the threat of the submission comes, he's extracting himself right away,
Good one. Good one.
keeping himself very safe. So we got an eye poke there. And he's all right.
You can pull again if you want.
Pavel right back to his guard. So one of the things we always talk about is if you're defending against a leg lock specialist like Pavel, if I can keep my heels to my butt, I'm relatively safe. So we're going to see Alves do lots of passing from his knees, just like this, head first passing, keeping his hips nice and low and keeping those heels attached to his butt. For Pavel to have any substantial entry in the leg, he has to get that separation and that elevation. So,
Nice. Stay low, stay low.
and the coach recognizes, right? He's calling it out, staying nice and low. The difficulty becomes, can I keep my heels to my butt while passing the closed guard? And that really is going to be a challenge. So he's probably going to have to stand up to open this guard, which is going to give Pavel this underhook on the leg. K-guard, oh, this beautiful Owen O'Flanagan entry that we learned at his seminar.
Good, nothing. Nice.
Nice work from Pavel. He sees everything. He's doing a really good job of keeping himself offensive and still keeping his defense tight.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
And maybe a little bit of frustration here coming from Alves as he opens up a little bit more. But this is going to give Pavel his entry here.
Yes, good retract.
Good strip away.
Nice work. 3 minutes left. It's yours so far.
And again, playing the upper body to attack the lower body, which has really got to be the connection. So we attack these choi bars or these straight arm bars from the bottom. And as the posture comes in to defend, we attack the legs. And a much tighter entry here for Pavel. He's getting in, he's getting hip to hip. He doesn't quite have that left leg in play. And there's still power here for this right ankle lock. As it switches to the inside, hopefully he can get to us. But Alves is doing a good job. By keeping his toes pointed and his heel exposed, he's limiting that threat of the Aoki lock.
Nice, nice.
And did everything right. I mean, his defense is spot on tonight.
Yes,
The
yes,
flexibility
yes.
of Pavel,
Go ahead.
that was great.
Nice. 2 minutes left. We need one big move.
And with the attacks coming from everywhere and the leg flexibility that Pavel has, it really becomes a very frustrating guard game to pass. And this is where you're seeing Alvarez kind of taking some more chances, and creating openings. The good thing is his defense is strong enough to get him out of those bad spots. But I have to think it's not looking good for the judges. Pavel is still getting the entries. He's still being, I would say, more
130. I
offensive.
want you to work more,
Offensive meaning the threat of a
130.
submission, where Alves is being more offensive, having a threat of a pass. So, but I would tend to weight the offensive attacks on submissions a little bit higher.
Nice. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Stay low.
I think he's going to look to attack this choi bar again, and as he pulls up, he'll underhook the leg and then attack through there. But Alves is hip to it, he knows what's going on. He's keeping his hips far away and his head down nice and low. Really, really strong base here.
Work more.
It's a great
Nice.
matchup.
Don't
I
let
mean,
him in,
style-wise,
don't let him in, don't let him in.
it's frustrating for both guys. And with short time, I'd love to see Pavel turn this into a sweep. And I think this is where game plan comes into play, right? You can easily come up here and take a top position and really shine for the judges. Or you go for another leg lock and you get in deep. Now he's much deeper on this. The knee line is clear. Come up, come up. Ah, we see. Great back and forth.
20 seconds, Rui. Let's go. Work more. Work, work, work. 15 seconds, Rui. Let's go.
And one more attack on the legs from Pavel.
10 seconds, Rui. Finish.
You won't get the sub here, but it looks good for the judges. I still think we had more offense coming out of Pavel. But a great counter coming up here from Alves. Really fun match. Great style matchup. Really difficult for both guys to get their game going, and that's what we want to see. Oh, kill to Alves. Wow. And this is where we're starting to see the prevalence of judges' decisions going towards the guard passer, right? The man stayed on top. He worked hard. He was aggressive the whole time. Even when he distracted, he came right back in and kept the pace up. I thought Pavel did more, but it's hard to deny someone who's staying on top and aggressively guard passing in this rule set. So, fantastic matchup.
Thank you so much, Alex.
I thought Pavel won pretty clearly. There was no guard passes. There was.
Match number 16 of the plus 80 kilograms in the quarterfinals. Right now, Cabo, Florida, coming out of Marshland, Jiu-Jitsu. And out of the right corner, Mark Hibber. The ref of this fight. Stop. Adios, ref.
Here we go. It's our last match of the quarterfinals in the plus 80 bracket. I can list about 3 guys I'm scared of, but this guy looks scary. Mark is a tank out there.
Hopefully force the bayonet. It's forced.
You know, I think when you have a decision like on our last match, it really kind of puts all the other competitors on notice. A lot of guys barely squeak by and get a win, but it really could go either way, especially with different rule sets. You know, we're looking for more aggression here, and I think that, you know, that aggressive top buzzsaw passing, kind of getting in and out, is looking really good for the refs tonight. So I hope the other guys are taking notice of that, because I think it's going to be the key to victory for a lot of guys, especially when they're fighting a very good guard player who's going to be heavy on the leg attacks. So historically, those guys would come out and take the win for just being offensive and having more sub attempts. But I really think that these past entries and these past attempts are scoring really highly with the judges. So that could be the pathway for these guys to go ahead and take the whole tournament. And great. I love using the wrestling to enter the legs, right? It was a good shot. He made Carlo react, and now he's deep on a leg lock here. And with a guy this strong on the legs, that's scary. Even if the technique isn't perfect, but he has a great bite in the heel. I think he's going to finish this, right? He's a great bite in the heel. If he can separate those legs, oh, the toes just barely came out, but they're there. And here it is for the second attempt. This one's going to be deeper. Got to separate the legs. There you go. That's the one. Scary guy out there. I love that. Big guy, all gas. Able to get some good technique in there and then finish a really slick heel hook. Great match. There we go. That's going to lock up our semifinals, which will be on the main card. So we have our minus 80 bracket coming up next for the quarterfinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last fight of the quarterfinals for this afternoon series. So we're going to have a short break, and we will be back with the main event of the main card at 6:50 or 10 to 7. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the area that we have. We have some acai outside. We have some lunches over here. We have from 648. This one right here that I have. Something TRT.